Hi guys, we're going to go through the Data 1F shadow test here. Right, starting with number 1. This is all about tally charts. It's MathsWatch clip 15 if you need to recap. We've got 60 year 11 students here and they were asked what they were planning to do next year. So the options are sixth form, college, apprenticeship, employment, or don't know. And it says find the missing frequency for college. So here it just means frequency is just the total of what these add up to. So here tally is very simple to add up. If they've barred the gate, that means you've got 5 in each. So 5, 10, 15, 20 people think they want to go to college. The missing tally for don't know. So we were told that 12 people said don't know, but there's no tally. So we need to put 12 people in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. How many students do not know what they're planning to do next year? Do know what they're planning to do next year. So that's just excluding the ones who don't know. And we already know from the question that they add up to 60. We don't need to add all these up. They should add up to 60. So we just do 60, take away the 12 who don't know, and that leaves 48 who do know. Okay, well we could have added up the other 4 rows in the table. Now we've got a pictogram, equally as easy. You're always given a key with a pictogram, unless you're drawing one, you have to put it in yourself. This is about the number of medals won by each of 5 countries in the 2014 Commonwealth Games. So each of these circles represents 4 medals. Jamaica won more medals than Cyprus. How many more? So you can see here Jamaica has more circles than Cyprus. How many more? Well, if we just tell you what's a good idea for these questions usually is just to write down the totals at the end, because you're inevitably asked another question. So I'm just going to write down each row's total. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36 medals for Nigeria. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and then 2, so 22 for Jamaica, because a half would be 2 medals. 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 for Singapore. 0 for Cameroon, although that's part of the next bit of the question, so I'll have to draw that in a minute. And then 4, 5 for Uganda, and 8 for Cyprus. So Jamaica won 22, Cyprus won 8, so Jamaica won 14 more. Little subtraction there. Cameroon won 7 medals, complete the pictogram. So to draw 7 medals, we're going to want one whole circle representing 4, and then we need to show 3. So not a whole circle, but 3/4 of a circle, as best you can do it. Number 3. Decide whether each of these sets of quantitative data is discrete or continuous. So these are all quantitative data, not qualitative. We just need to decide whether it's discrete or continuous. Remember, discrete means can only take set values. So for example, whole numbers, or even increments of numbers, but you can't have absolutely anything. Continuous means you can have absolutely anything. So an infinite number. So lengths of shoelaces would be continuous, because you could have one that was 12.8 centimeters, you could have one that's 12.86 centimeters, you could have one that's 12.865 centimeters, and so on. Amount of berries on a tree would have to be a whole number, so that's going to be discrete. Time it takes to run 100 meters is continuous. Time is always a continuous. Number of sweets in a packet, again, discrete. Okay, Max wants to take a random sample of students from his year group. Explain what is meant by a random sample. Believe it or not, they do actually ask questions like this. Most of these shadow tests are made up of actual exam questions. Random in itself means equally likely to be anything, and that's what a random sample means as well. It means everything within the population is equally likely to be chosen. Okay, so in this case, each student is equally likely to be chosen for the sample. And finally, describe a method Max could use to take his random sample. Now, this is a bit of a go-to answer when you've got a random sample question, I'm afraid, but it's worth remembering. And that is to number each of the students and use a random number generator, for example on a calculator, to generate random numbers. Okay, the next page will be on the next video.